Hey everyone, it's Ryan Henry with INSPIREsmall.biz, and on this episode of the Bright Ideas Show, we're going to talk to Rebecca Borman, a high-performing sales professional turned entrepreneur. That and more information in the INSPIREsmall.biz library on today's episode of the Bright Ideas Show. Hey everyone, it's Ryan Henry with INSPIREsmall.biz, and we are streaming live from Refinery 46 in Indianapolis, Indiana, a great co-working space and private office building at 2201 East 46th Street with membership as low as $150 per month. Check them out. It is a great place to get out of your home and be able to work during the day. Be sure to join us next month in August for the return of Sparks. We have two great Sparks events coming up. Friday, August 4th is Sparks Lunch. That'll be at Jockamo Pizza, 9165 Otis Avenue in Indianapolis, Indiana. And then we have Sparks After Hours coming up on Wednesday, August 9th. That's at the Northside Events and Social Club at 2100 East 71st Street in Indianapolis. Our theme for the month is comebacks, so join us for an evening of tacos and 3 inspiring speakers on great comeback stories. Our guest today is going to be Rebecca Borman, who is a high-performing sales professional turned entrepreneur. But before we get to her story, I want to share a recent clip with you from the INSPIREsmall.biz library. Let's see, Lorraine Ball, owner of Digital Toolbox, shares her tips for growing your online presence without breaking the bank.
Number one, don't shoot one video at a time. Okay, guys, you always look better, but women, you know the drill. We're going to put hair, we're going to do makeup, we're going to make sure the lighting is right. Guys, pay attention to the lighting too. You're going to focus on your background. You're going to get everything set up and you're going to do a 10-second video. You're going to spend 30 minutes to get a 10-second video. No. Get your act together and do half a dozen videos at the same time. Do one long form video that you can maybe use somewhere else, and then you're going to cut it up using those editing software, and you're going to have content for 6 weeks. After 1 hour of shooting and editing video. Make your time count. Edit and add a little polish, and then adjust for platforms. Again, the long form works really well on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The horizontal works better on Twitter and on LinkedIn. So play with your backgrounds. I now have a design that works really well because I shoot it long, and then when I turn it, I actually put my text on the side to basically I don't have to do any editing to the video. I just kind of slide it over a little bit and move the text, and it's really fast.
All right, everybody, so now here live in studio with me here at Refinery 46, I'd like to introduce our guest today, who is Rebecca Borman. And before founding her sales consulting company, she spent 20 years in business development and sales leadership for global organizations that include Verizon Telecommunications, Verizon Business, Verizon Wireless, and Bell Technologies. Rebecca, how are you doing today?
Hey Ryan, thanks so much for having me here today. I'm doing great and excited to be here to talk to you and your guests.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to stop by and talk to us. And so let's talk a little bit about your career before you started your company. You had a very impressive career as a high-performing sales professional. So tell our viewers a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you so much. So I always like to say that technology and sales found me. I actually went to college to be a pharmacist, and turned out that that wasn't really a great fit for my personality. And so I applied to a whole bunch of different organizations, and Verizon and Telecommunications and I found each other, where I got to work actually in a call center where lots of folks start out their tech career. And I supported small businesses all across the country, helping them with their tech needs, their billing needs, and like helping fit different technology solutions back then, like Centronex lines and DSL, things like that. Like I'm totally dating myself. And from there, I found out that I really had an aptitude for technology. I loved helping business owners find solutions that allowed them to serve their employees or their clients, like even better than they were in the first place. And my career kind of went from there. I went from working from small to medium businesses to enterprise organizations and kind of back to small business for a little bit and then back to enterprise again. And I've gotten to help folks, everyone from like Indianapolis Public Schools was my client, big organizations like Rexnord, which is a huge manufacturing firm up in Wisconsin. Morton Salt was a client of mine. And I love building relationships, learning about the businesses, and just helping really that people, process, tools, and technology like all coming together and being like the bridge to help them all work.
Nice. And so, Rebecca, when did you realize that sales was a skill that you really had?
Yeah, well, I think it started when I was a Girl Scout selling cookies. I was actually pretty good at that. But sales definitely, again, I believe sales is a service. I think it's helpful if I start there. I know sometimes we kind of have this icky feeling like sales can be pushy, and I know the industry sometimes like makes it feel that way, if you will. It can be kind of high pressure. But when we come from this perspective of that sales is a service and we're just trying to be a connector and invite folks to learn about things that may provide value to them or their organizations, whether we're selling business to business or business to consumer, I think it makes a lot more sense. It feels more comfortable. It allows us to be our authentic selves, which I think is super important, especially in sales, because it's really about building relationships. And I think that's where I've always really excelled, is getting to know people, listening to understand instead of just to be heard. And then matching them with people, whether that happened to be the organization that I represented, or maybe it was one of my partner companies or a friend, and what they're doing. So, I would say I was probably in my early 20s when I realized that this was actually a gift that I had that could be like beneficial in my career.
Nice. And so, Rebecca, what was the deciding point for you when you knew it was time to start your business?
Oh, man, that's such a good question. For me, I feel like I had really hit all of the goals I had set to accomplish in my corporate career. I have led sales teams across the country. I've closed well over $250 million in sales in my career. I've led close to 100 professionals in sales and sales adjacent roles. And I was just ready to do something different. In the last few years, I've had the pleasure of hosting some sales workshops for various organizations like the Startup Ladies and the Boss Babe Network. And I've also served on quite a few nonprofit boards where I've got to help them grow their organizations, like Women in High Tech, the Brandon Foundation, to help with that development perspective. And I guess I just wanted to serve more organizations in that way, helping nonprofits, develop and grow, as well as small business owners and medium business enterprises when they're in this space of they're growing, but a lot of it has been word of mouth. And how do they accelerate that? And that's where I come in.
Nice. And so that leads us right into our next question of how do you help your clients?
Yeah, thank you. I think it's easiest, if you don't mind, to just share like a tiny little story. So a lot of times when organizations are growing, it's been because the founders and the entrepreneurs are doing a lot of the sales, tapping into their network, those sorts of things. So they're doing well. And they come to this place where they're ready to borrow Grant Cardone's phrase, like 10x their sales, right? And a lot of times what they do is they do a whole bunch of marketing tactics. They decide they're going to get serious on social. They're going to buy some ads. They're going to maybe host an event or two. Sometimes they even like hire some sales reps and say, okay, go do it like I did. And it turns out that their sales don't actually accelerate when they do that. So what I do is I come into organizations and help them with a business development plan that encompasses both emotional intelligence, sales strategy, as well as marketing, PR, and help them put that all together in a way that will actually accelerate their sales and their revenue growth.
Nice. And so, Rebecca, what are some of the types of organizations that you work the best with?
Yeah, another great question, and thanks for asking. So again, I work great with organizations that are already growing. So they have sales, they're successful. Usually they're maybe 5 million up to 20 or 30 million. Of course, there's outliers on either side of that. And they're organizations that are really looking for a strategy to serve their folks and grow their organization at the same time. We can do that in kind of a couple of flavors. One, I can be hired as a fractional development or sales leader to come in and consult. I also host sales training cohorts. Those are great for our solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. I host those a few times a year, and it's a course that goes through the different areas to thrive in sales, starting with our mindset and ending with the closing tactics. And that once you're closed, that's not the end. That's actually the beginning of our relationships. And then I do all kinds of different workshops and speaking engagements for organizations too.
Nice. And so, Rebecca, what do you love the most about what you do?
Man, my passion is really creating community and helping folks live their best lives, both personally and professionally. So when I get to work with organizations that are doing great things for their people and helping them grow to serve their customers, more customers, and also like be a destination workplace for folks, a good place to work, that just really makes me happy. It's like building those communities that lift while they're climbing.
Nice. And so, Rebecca, how can our viewers get a hold of you if they want to learn more?
Oh my gosh. You can get a hold of me a lot of ways. So I have a website. It's R Borman, that's BORMANN consulting.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn under R Borman or Rebecca Borman Consulting, as well as my personal page, Rebecca Borman. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And then my email is info@rbormanconsulting.com. So whatever way works for you, happy to have you reach out that way. And I would also share, I have an event coming up.
Yes, please do.
It's a passion project of mine. It's about really what women and male allies need to know about closing the gender gap in sales and leadership. It's August 9th at Launch Fishers, and it starts at 11. We have some amazing women leaders coming in to share their journeys, as well as the CEO of Women in Sales is coming down from Chicago to talk about all that their organization is doing to support women in sales, to help our male allies know how to help us advance change, as well as organizations, both medium business and corporate enterprise, to get engaged, to level the playing field from a gender perspective, from a pay gap perspective. So come on out. We also have virtual options, and that would be a great way to connect too.
Awesome. And so, Rebecca, viewers can go to your website and click on a menu link, right?
Yes, that's right. Click on the menu link and then just go on Closing the Gap, or you can click on the event page and it will take you to that special event we're having on August 9th.
Awesome. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today. And to everyone watching, if you are trying to take your business's sales to the next level, give Rebecca a call. She can definitely help you. And make sure to check out her Closing the Gender Gap event on August 9th. And so now I'd like to share another recent clip from the INSPIREsmall.biz library. Melody Donovan shares her story of growing up in rural Indiana and breaking out of old expectations to get where she is today, and the importance of having mentors.
And so we just had this conversation at a networking meeting last week, and it's like, thank you. I know you've always believed in me, but I had to believe in myself. And now I'm there. So I don't know if you guys have ever gone through had those life-changing moments where you had to turn left or right. And what did you do? Some things to ponder. But I've also known, and what I've tried to do now as an IT professional or just a woman out there who has come this far. And it's not that we have to do all those things, but it's up to us to choose what we want to do. And I just want to be, because when I was growing up, outside of that one main person, my church dad, I really didn't have any mentors. I didn't even really understand what that meant. And so for me, especially being a woman in IT, And even if I'm deciding to get out of that, there's still a lot of girls and young ladies who are wanting to get into that. And I fully support that. And so I want to be the person I needed for then. I want to be that person for someone else. And so I encourage you, the challenge for you, being this is a mentorship week, month for the group, is to reach out to somebody, because if they're like me, it wasn't easy to reach out to somebody from my side and ask for help. So reach out. If you see somebody, say, you're doing great work. Is there anything I can do to help you along? What are your dreams? What do you want to do? Is this where you want to be? What are your goals? That would be my challenge to you guys today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to join us on Wednesday, August 2nd for the next Business First Networking. That's at Old National Bank at 900 South State Road 135 in Greenwood. And our discussion topic for that meeting is, where do you volunteer? We want to find out all of the organizations that our members support so that we know what's going on in the community and how we can further plug in to help each other. Coming up on Thursday, August 3rd, is the next Keystone Business Connections meeting. That's at the Old National Bank at 4805 East 96th Street in Indianapolis, corner of 96th Street and Gray Road. Well, not technically corner, more of a traffic circle, but same concept. And so our topic for that meeting is preparing for Small Business Saturday. So I'll be giving our presentation on things every small business owner can do to get themselves prepared for Small Business Saturday, which is just around the corner. And Rebecca, go ahead and share with our viewers again your event that you have coming up and how folks can get registered for it.
Yes, thank you so much. So I have a passion project special event. After being a woman in tech and in business development and sales for 20 years, there's a big gender gap in those industries. We talk a lot about the gap in STEM, not so much in the sales industry. And in the United States, it actually is the industry with the second largest gender gap. So on August 9th, we're hosting a special event at Launch Fishers. There's also virtual options. We're going to have a panel of wonderful women leaders and sales professionals, everything from telecom to insurance to life sciences and workforce development, sharing some of their stories, and also talking to our male allies and corporations on what kind of help we need from you all. And we're going to have the CEO of Women in Sales, a wonderful organization up in Chicago that's doing so much work nationally to advance gender equity in sales. Their CEO, Alex Ian, is going to come down and talk with us. So please, if you're free, August 9th starts at about 11 a.m. for those joining us in person. We'll have networking opportunities and lunch. For those that would like to join virtually, it'll start at noon. Come out and join us. Thank you.
Awesome. And Rebecca, one more time, how can folks get registered?
Yes, please. You can register right on our website. Our website is R. Borman Consulting. That's RBORMANN consulting.com. And then on the menu bar, you can click on Closing the Gender Gap or Events to find the opportunity to register. Thank you.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Also, coming up on Friday, August 4th, we have the first Sparks Lunch, or the relaunch of Sparks Lunch. That's at Jockamo Pizza, 9165 Otis Avenue in Indianapolis. Doors for that event open up at 11 o'clock. That event is free to attend. You just purchase your own lunch. Come and join us and learn about what Sparks is and why you need to be a part of it. Then on Wednesday, August 9th at 5 o'clock p.m., presumably after your workshop is wrapped up, come on down to the Northside Events and Social Club, 2100 East 71st Street for Sparks After Hours. We're going to have a great evening of tacos and 3 engaging speakers with comeback stories. Our speakers this month include Danny O'Malia, who was part of O'Malia Foods here in the Indy area, turned Indy's trusted servant. We also have Jeff Utzinger, who suffered sudden cardiac arrest while on the Monon, and with the help of one of his neighbors and the Carmel Police is still here with us today. And Amanda Starr, who is the founder of Arise Safety and CPR. That event is just $25 to attend if you register in advance. Tickets at the door are $35, and INSPIREsmall.biz events get a discount or free tickets depending on your membership level. Before we wrap up today, I'd like to share the video with you of what makes Sparks so special.
This is my first time attending.
This is my third Sparks event.
I've been attending Sparks since the beginning.
Tom Ford, this is my first time. I'm a rookie.
My name's Kevin Emmons. I've been a Sparks member for about a year.
I've been coming for 3 months now. This is my 3rd one.
Why I already love Sparks.
Why I love Sparks, because it's a great way to meet people.
I love that you never know what you're going to get, and you always walk away with a new perspective.
I mean, listen to it. It's a rambunctious crowd. It's a lot of fun.
It's also a great way to learn about others.
You can hear the buzz out here in the crowd. Great way to see some fantastic TED speakers.
When you're done watching a TED Talk, you kind of want to tell everybody about it. Well, at Sparks, you can't.
It's a great event to hear from a variety of speakers who have a wealth of knowledge.
They asked me the question, why do I love Sparks? I love Sparks because Sparks is what it says it is. It's inspiring, it's uplifting, it's energetic, it's entertaining. It's all that plus a whole lot more.
And why I love Sparks is because it's a message.
It's a great event.
I love it, and you guys got to check it out.
The energy's exciting, and it makes you think.
Don't delay. Click the registration button and grab your ticket for the next Sparks event near you.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for catching this episode of the Bright Ideas Show. Join us next week. Our speaker is going to be Pavithri Kilgore, who is the owner of KPSK Consulting. And if you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you can get the latest on information from INSPIREsmall.biz to help you build your business. And if you are in the process of building your business, consider becoming a member of INSPIREsmall.biz. We have videos, guides, tutorials, and events on a variety of topics to help you build your business. I'm Ryan Henry, Idea Guy and co-founder. Thanks for watching.